Could you use a quick tip daily? How about a tip that can impact your day? My name is Raphael. Join me as I bring you tips by experts around the world. These experts have shared their knowledge and wisdom with me and will directly share them with you. Make sure to subscribe, like, follow, and comment, and I would love for you to become part of the New Tip Daily community. Good morning, Tracy. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
My pleasure. I'm doing great. How are you?
Exceptional. Getting better every day. Every day. A little bit of something.
Excellent. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, likewise, likewise. So today you're going to give us a couple of tips on self-operating systems, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that so many people, just kind of wake up in the morning and kind of throw the day to, whatever power may be and think, it's okay to be a little spontaneous. And it is if that's what you are intentionally deciding. And if you don't intentionally decide, there lies the problem. You will
That's
just
right.
operate on default. And so my tip is to make an intentional decision. And if you want to operate in such a way through every moment of every minute of every day where you're actually creating with intention what it is that you want, you can follow 4 simple steps. The acronym that I like to use to remind people of what those steps are is SELF. So
Self.
all you have to do is rely on yourself.
Yeah, I love it.
There, we just, we stop thinking of ourselves as the problem and we start thinking of ourselves as the solution. And the S stands for start with a decision. So just like the tip I just gave you, start with a decision, make a decision, even to make a decision, start with a decision about what it is that you want, start with a decision about how it is that you want to feel, start with a decision about what your day is going to look like, the behaviors you're going to have, and the experience that you're going to create. The second step is eliminate the self-sabotage. Get real familiar with those narratives that are in your mind that we all have that sound very judgmental. You're either judging yourself, you're judging others, or you're judging a circumstance. So that sounds like, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy once I have the money in the bank. I'll be happy when I have this many clients. I'll be happy when I weigh this much. So you have to have an awareness of those saboteur narratives that keep us from getting what it is that we want, that keep us believing something that's not even true, that's very dramatic, with an awareness of those narratives and why they're happening, just in an attempt to keep us safe, we can avoid the self-sabotage. So first step is start with a decision. Second step, eliminate the self-sabotage. Third step, leverage your inherent strengths. We all have the inherent strength of empathy and discovery and innovation, and a way to navigate that supports our values. So tap into those strengths. We all have them, but without intentionally operating from the part of your brain that allows you to tap into them, you just don't have access to it. So empathy would sound like, what's the most loving and compassionate thing I can say to myself right now? That's how you get into empathy. Or what are all of the factors involved that I may not be seeing? That looks like discovery, right? So leveraging those inherent strengths, you just have to be able to ask yourself the right questions to be able to tap into them. And then the fourth and final step, brace yourself. The fourth and final step is finish with a decision. So these 4 steps are so easy. Step 1 and step 4 are the exact same thing. Start with a decision, finish with a decision. And in between, you're going to eliminate the self-sabotage and leverage your strengths. So finishing with a decision sounds like, what's the immediate next step? What is the step that I can take right now with confidence and laser focus? There you have it. SELF. No matter where you're going today, take yourself with you. Be really intentional about what it is that you want. eliminate that self-sabotage, leverage those inherent strengths, and finish with a decision.
Wow, great tips. And you know, one of the things that I always realize that no matter where you are, you're there.
Yeah,
Yourself. You wherever you go, you take yourself
right,
anywhere.
right.
And I love the fact of make a decision because even a no decision is a decision, right? If you don't plan, like you said, like you wake up intentionally, or you wake up and whatever happens, happens. And people who live that way, I realize they have one thing in common. Everybody who lives with whatever happens, happens. And they use the big C word, which is complain.
Mm,
Complain about, oh, my life is not good. I'm not this. I'm not getting what I want because they never made the choice to decide how their day should look. So planning, I agree 1,000%.
yeah.
Without planning, my gosh, I have my whole day planned for today. So I've already, yesterday, I knew exactly what today was going to look like. I was going to go to my gym. I was going to work out the video. I was going to shoot all the different things. The fact that you and I were going to have this show. After this, I'm doing a couple of other things. Then I have two shows I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going to a mastermind. I'm going to be doing so many things. And then I'm meeting new clients. So my day is planned. The only thing I didn't plan is on Fridays, I didn't plan what I'm going to eat yet, but it's going to be healthy.
Mhm,
It
mhm.
is, right?
Yeah,
Because the intention is to have a good life.
right,
But if I don't start today, how is my tomorrow going to be?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Great tips, by the way.
Thank
Self,
you.
everybody.
Thank
Take
you.
yourself wherever you go. Would you say being good to yourself is also an important part of that self-discovery, if you will?
Oh, yeah. I think, making a decision to be intentional, it really does come out of a lot of self-care,
Mhm.
wanting to take care of yourself. So, if you're somebody who is really struggling with these four steps, I think a good place to start is, do you love yourself enough? And is
Mhm.
there self-loathing or is there self-love? And that's when you really have to lean into that question. What is the most loving and compassionate thing I can say to myself right now? Maybe it's, yesterday was a hard day, and that's okay. We're allowed to have hard days. And today I'm just going to be 1% better. That's a very loving thing you can say to yourself. We
Mhm.
are not put on this earth to be perfect. We are supposed to be sorting and sifting through all of the muck. So if you are having more muck days than not, be compassionate with yourself. You're learning what you don't want through those kind of days. So
Mhm.
absolutely, it does start with, caring for yourself and letting that type of care and compassion lead to obsessive love for yourself.
Yeah,
But
I
it's a
love that.
process. It's a process.
It sure is. You know, my imperfections are what makes me unique, right?
Mhm.
If you will, because they, and like I always tell everybody, if you ever meet a perfect person, please introduce me to them because
Yeah.
I want to know what on earth they're doing.
Mhm.
So we know we're not perfect, and you said something very important. What if yesterday was terrible? Can we restart, reboot, if you will? But could you do that in the middle of the day? You don't have to wait till tomorrow to say, maybe it's 1 in the afternoon and you're like, oh, this morning has been terrible. Now the rest of your day is going to continue in that path. Or can you reboot at
Yeah.
any time?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it starts with a decision. So at the moment where you notice you're feeling something unwanted, or you're feeling some sort of resistant, or you're feeling
Mhm.
that very familiar feeling of dread or disappointment, that's a sign.
Mhm.
That's trying to tell you something, right? And we often just kind of push it down and pretend that it's not there. And we tell ourselves, this is just the way I'm supposed to live. That's not true.
Mhm.
So I would suggest letting that be the sign that you can take a different approach. You can operate your life differently. You don't have to just feel that way moment by moment.
Mhm.
In this very minute, you can make a decision that I don't want to feel that way anymore. That's step one. That is step one. I don't want to feel this way anymore.
mm,
Okay, now what are the saboteur narratives that you're hearing the minute you say that to yourself? That probably it's going to sound something like, oh no, you are going to feel this way. You deserve
mm,
to feel this way. Remember, back 5 years ago when you did this really bad thing, right? Like those are the kind of narratives that creep back in and judge us and really try to hijack us. You have to
mm,
be aware of that. And you have to know that that's just coming from your primitive brain trying to keep you safe, trying to keep you alive. It's
right.
very dramatic and often untrue. So, step one is making a decision, and it can be small or it can be, very monumental. There is nothing too insignificant to make a decision about.
Mm. Would you even recommend taking a look in the mirror? Because sometimes we don't really see the fact that we're not even smiling,
Mhm.
right? Because maybe we got to look in the mirror and go, show me a smile. Let me
Mhm.
see you smile. Because a
Mhm.
lot of times we're so down on ourselves. Maybe somebody else came down on top of us, and then that makes us go down. But we forget to look, and we forget that we have this beautiful thing called a smile, and we go all day long because somebody maybe they they poured their junk on us, and it made us feel a certain way, and then all of a sudden we are no longer smiling. So
Mhm.
one of the things that I always tell people is look in the mirror and make that person smile. They're
Mhm.
like, well, I'm mad. I'm like, well, make him smile anyway, or make her smile anyway. Because guess what? That smile will break away all that negativity.
Yeah.
Maybe not at once, but slowly. The more
Yeah.
you smile, the better you feel, right?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of really great mental fitness techniques, really great ways of connecting with yourself. And that's one of them, right? Looking in the mirror and really looking into your own eyes and connecting with yourself. That's a great mental fitness connection type technique. You can also meditate. You can also deep breathe. You can tap. You can, um, you know, really do a sensation like laser focus for 2 minutes on the furthest away sound and then the nearest, the closest sound that you can hear, or look at something and really laser focus on that one thing for 2 minutes. Anything that quiets down that primitive brain saboteur narrative chatter that's going on. Another
Mhm.
one that I love is just take your index finger to your thumb and try to feel the ridges of your thumbprint. You have to really laser focus to find that. And just, with just enough tension that you can actually find those ridges. That's another great way to connect with yourself. So,
Mhm.
yeah, anything that you can do to really kind of quiet down that primitive brain chatter, connect with yourself, be intentional is very helpful. It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I love the feeling your fingertips because if you go even deeper into thinking, wow, that's my fingerprint, and there's only one like it in the whole world, and
Hmm.
that's what makes me unique, and
Right.
that's what makes me so special, right? So, man, great techniques. I got to tell you, Tracy, every time you and I talk, you always are teaching me something, and I
Oh,
appreciate every time we have a conversation. You definitely have to come on my other shows as well. Probably Heroes Rising will be the next one. I
yeah.
can't wait because you share such great knowledge, but it's not complicated and it's
No,
so, I don't want to say
it's
basic.
fundamental. Yep.
But it's not basic, not really. It's
It's
so,
fundamental.
but when you look at it at the top, it seems really simple. But when you really get into it, it's complex. And that's the beauty of what you teach. So thank you for that.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Sifu.
Oh, yeah, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for today. Great tips. Everybody, by the way, we have 100 days left to this year. This is day 265. You know why I know that? Because I've been posting videos on fitness every day. This is 265th day that I've posted consecutively. Last year, I posted 365 days consecutively. So we are going one more 100 days. What can you do with your days? 100 days left. How can you make a change in your life? If you need to do it, don't wait for tomorrow. Start today. Tracy, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Have
Thank you,
yourself an
Bobby.
exceptional day. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you on Monday. Take care, everybody.